someone that's sharing today, it would be if you could please make sure that you unmute yourself when you're about to come on here. By the way, for those of you that are brand new for the training today, this is the live mentor calls that we do every Saturday morning and on Tuesdays as well, depending on if you're a World Changer 1 or 2. This is for all the World Changer 1s all the way to World Changer 5s. And it's for equipping. It's for going through what's working now. Come in here, beautiful. It's for what's working now in your business, in our industry, from people that are making it happen. And we talked about this is a platform for really just finding who is really crushing it in the industry. You know, who's a seasoned veteran that's made millions of dollars, we're bringing them in. Who are people that are making a consistent 6-figure income, we're bringing them in. Who are up-and-comers that are top of their bonus pool and top of the enroller pool for their company and top producers that are newer to the industry. You're going to hear from them as well. So you get I want to bring in different people that are brand new in this industry for the last month or 2 or 3 that are doing the simple things. Because doing the thing about what we all do is it's so simple. It doesn't take more than a few minutes to know how to make a 7-figure income in this industry. Knowing how, like everybody wants this elusive, like, give me the book, give me the steps. And that's what you're going to get today. You're going to get the steps and what to do. You should be able to leave today with one of, and of course there's other ways to build a business, but we're going to go through what we call 3-step map. Because there's really 3 major things in building your business. And today we're going to go really deep on how to invite people. Today we're going to be talking about how to invite them to a presentation system called the ATM. And we're going to go into deep on that. And then how do you follow up and enroll people? And those are the 3 major components. Now, of course, there's always more, right? But those are the 3 major components of what to do. And today, again, I'm going to bring in some people. They're going to walk you through exactly how that works for them and different companies too, by the way. I want to preface this, that this call is meant for people that are in the business model of building teams. And there's multiple different companies and multiple different products in here. And why is that so important? It's important because your product is important, your company is important, but what's more important is understanding the model and understanding the big picture of what to do. So if you are sharing or asking questions, remember to keep it generic and don't talk specifically about your product, your specific product that you share. Okay. And I don't know if you could see anybody that's kind of new-ish to being here with us today. I'm not sure if Kim Challan's here.
I actually have makeup on. I've had some coffee.
I know. We woke up super early, getting ready and being prepared for you guys today because it's going to be a powerful call for you and your duplication.
Oh my goodness, we have incredible speakers, top enrollers sharing. But if it's okay, I actually want to start the call with a little walk down memory lane for you and me.
Okay.
And if anyone's been in this industry, let's just say 20 years plus, right? If you're brand new in this industry, there's never been a better time to do a home-based business. But when we got started,
oh no,
you're
going there.
I have to.
You're going there. Okay.
I have to set up this call right.
Okay, do it.
Okay. When we got started about 29 years ago, I was 18 years old.
Well, you got started 29 years ago.
I got started 29 years. I was 18 years old. I took every penny in my bank account and I put it into our business, which at that time was life insurance. So exciting. Then I went through 3 months of licensing before I could make a single penny. 3 months of licensing. And this is, by the way, network
marketing model. You had to get life
model.
Insurance licensed.
I had to get life insurance licensed. I had to get securities licensed. So 3 months of that. Then I was ready to go on appointments. And in this model, you spent your days prospecting and your evenings 2 appointments a day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And those appointments,
Saturday too.
And all day Saturday.
And then, the leaders did 7 days a week.
Yes. Well, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we had a live business overview in an office. But the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 appointments a night, we would walk in with our flip chart And it was a
and our
45-minute
briefcase.
presentation in our briefcase, a 45-minute presentation, a
Our
2-hour
suits,
appointment.
our suits.
Yes. Yes. And then on Saturdays, we had Saturday morning training.
All morning.
And then on Sundays, we did barbecues. It was team day. And then we would do some planning and we would wake up on Monday and do it all over again.
7 years straight.
7 years straight of that. And that was how we built our business way back in the day.
And then we'd go on appointments with no GPS, with these books with directions. Remember that?
No
Right,
cell
okay.
phones.
All right, let's go to the.
Okay, now fast forward. What we have today, the technology, the tools, the ATM system, which is what we're talking about today, is so simple. It's just so simple.
Yeah.
And we're living in a day and age where someone can get started, and because of a simple duplicatable system, get started that day.
Yeah.
That day to get into profit
Good.
within that day. So
Yeah, and here's what I'm going to share with you. Who is this for? Who is this system for the best? Who does it work the best for? It works the best for people who have not been in this industry before.
mm-hmm.
It's working better with what we call greenies or new people.
Right.
And here's why. I have a friend, a multimillionaire friend, who texted me this morning on Facebook. And he's like, dude, can you teach me? Can we just come to your house and see this ATM system? And even me, it took me 1 year. You know why? Is it complex? No, it's almost too simple that people have been doing this industry for a while they think it doesn't work that simple, but it does. If you've been in this industry or you're new, what we're about to show you is so simple that you've just got to realize that it works. And I'm going to say this because there's a lot of different ways. There's home presentations still work.
Yes.
Hotels still work. One-on-ones still work. Sending people a video, beautiful. Leading with the product with sample, beautiful. It all works. But one of the things, when I find something, when I find a system that works, I put 99% of my energy on becoming the most consistent, almost boring, methodical person every single day, because I know what's the most. When you find something that works, when we find something that works, we just want to do it over and over and over. And you don't have to be the most talented people in the industry to make it work the way that we're about to show you. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna bring up our guest speakers, but if you're on this phone, you're like, what the heck's ATM? Okay, so it's basically add people to a Facebook group, a private Facebook group.
Yep.
Tag them in a video or two, and then you message them and you communicate, you follow up like crazy.
Yep. Until
they buy or die, right? Which is what we were until they get started with you, either as a customer or a business rep. So if you're on this call and you say, I don't have an ATM system, create one, right? Create one. It's so simple. So simple. Here's the benefit to it. Number one, it's simple and duplicatable, which we already talked about. Anyone can do it. Number two, it's accountability for you. When you have your team members in there and you're adding and tagging and you're leading the charge, your team members see that and they're like, oh, I know exactly what to do every day. Number three, it's someone can, it's motivating because it's synergistic. There's energy in a group. People can see it, people can feel it, and you can nurture and just love on people until they kind of see it and they get it. It might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a month, but eventually they'll see it. That's what's so great about an ATM system. So are we ready?
Yes. And hey, I want to put some statistics behind this. There was a gal that's been using this system now for about 60 days. She referred 13 people to the system, the ATM system. And those 13 people turned into over 1,000 business partners in less than 60 days. And just this month alone is over $115,000 of volume for this month, the month of January 2020. So it's working extremely well. By the way, that's Kim. And there's been so many women that have been having success in multiple different businesses using that process. So we're going to bring up, who are we bringing up first?
Let's bring up, why don't we bring up Heather?
Heather.
Yes.
Oh, Heather. Yes. Heather, you know, the reason why I wanted to bring up Heather is because I've seen her group, particularly with her company, and I've seen she is one of the most consistent people in her entire company using this process. So I'm going to bring up Heather to just share what I'd like Heather to do is just share and again, keep it generic, Heather. But Heather, what do you do what are some tips in about literally 3 minutes?
God, that smells horrible.
Oh, sorry.
Fart, man.
I love it.
Did you smell his breath? No kidding.
All right, let me mute. Let me make sure everybody's muted here.
That is so funny.
That is really funny. I wonder, okay, there we go. So Heather, unmute yourself real quick.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, what happened to the video?
Hey, beautiful.
Yes, hey, you look great.
So good to see you.
So
Well,
Heather,
I'll
tell
keep
everybody.
it short. Like one of the biggest things I found with the ad tag and messaging that works really well is making sure to communicate with that person that you're adding.
Yeah.
Even if it's after you add them, because people get so many ads that you really don't utilize your effort if you don't let them know, hey, I don't ask them, I let them know that I'm adding them. And I'll also give them the ability, if this is not for you, feel free to leave. You will not hurt my feelings, because that automatically takes that salesy thing off.
It's good. Good tip.
But with people that I don't necessarily know, I will use Facebook or Instagram to go and find out more about them before I reach out. Kind of do some investigative work.
Make some notes.
And then I will add them to the group, like obviously let them know, add them to the group. Always find a common denominator. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, can you share what you say? Let's say you're
Sure.
investigating, and then what do you do next?
Well, I find something that we have in common, whether it be our kids, whether it be somebody that we knew, that whole, Kevin Bacon theory, there's 6 degrees separation from somebody. I think it's like 4.72 now or something crazy like that. There is somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And if you can't find that, just ask them questions like, where did you go to school? Where do you live? I'll walk up to somebody in a parking lot. And actually, when I was super nervous about doing that, I was challenged over and over to just use the public to practice on, so that when I was actually working on my warm market, I was more comfortable. Find something in common, start talking about that. If they don't ask you what you do, obviously, if you start throwing up on them, you've just ruined it. Sometimes I'll go back to them again later and say, hey, listen, I totally forgot to tell you, I'm super excited about something that we're doing. I would love to add you to this Facebook group. Feel free to leave if it's not for you. And keeping it generic, I'm not usually very specific, because curiosity is what gets them.
Yes.
Always. And I mean, don't be, obviously you don't want to act like you're hiding something, but you do want to create that curiosity, because that's going to have them go to that page and look.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I always let them know, hey, listen, when you go to that page and look, there's a couple of videos that made me think of you.
So good.
I'll just tag you on those videos. You can watch them. And I never say, let me know what you think.
Good.
I always say, and tell me what you liked best, or what it made you think of, or how did it make you feel, or depending on what the product or service is. What do you think that this could benefit you? How do you think this could benefit you? Not do you think? Because you want something that they're going to have multiple answers, not just a yes or no. And then when I do that, I usually follow up in a messenger. I love messenger videos, because people can hear you. Just make sure you're in a good mood. And if you can't fake a good mood, that's when you text, because people can hear it. They can hear it in your voice. I think that that's super important, to always be smiling when you're doing those videos, because Tom, you taught me that people can absolutely hear your smile via your voice when you're talking. They can hear that energy.
So true.
And create that conversation. Don't just say, hey, I saw that you saw the video. You can send them a message, say, hey, listen, I saw you come up on my phone. I was just thinking about you. How's your day? Or I take little notes too. Listen, you told me your dog was having surgery. How'd your dog pull through surgery? How'd that go? Send me a picture of your pup. Here's my pup. Get that rapport. If you have a rapport with somebody, they don't buy services or products necessarily from the best person. They buy it from the person they like. So I try and just create that rapport and create that energy and be consistent. If you leave people hanging for more than 24 to 48 hours, you did all that work for nothing. I mean, you really want to follow up on them quickly, but you don't want to pounce on them like a cat. So if you do this huge post, you've added people, tagged them, messaged them, and you just do this post that gets tons and tons of foot traffic, usually I will get off Facebook for like an hour, hour and a half. People don't see me on there because it's adding up. And then I go back and I answer them all at the same time, because especially if you're doing this business on the side, you can feel totally worn out. If you can block time and be very specific, that's really good. And so the messages, I will just talk to them like a person. I find something in common, talk to them like a friend, build that rapport and that trust, and it works. And even the people that say no, or this is not for me, they come back around. They watch what you're doing. So be consistent.
That's so good.
Love that.
That is so good.
Did you take
We've
some
got
whoppers?
a lot.
Oh, so many whoppers.
I know we can keep going with Heather all day on this call.
Yeah.
Heather, there's so many, see, this is so beautiful because Kim and I do this every day, all day for the last few months. And the angles that we got and the tips and how she does it was just so beautiful.
Like
We're going to,
slight little,
we're going to make it
and stop talking like you taught me. You said you've got to stop talking. Stop talking. Like put it out there and then stop talking. That's helped me more than anything. So Thank you, Tom.
I have to re-listen to that myself every day.
One of the my favorite things that you said is to actually respond with video.
Do you do video?
Not just audio, but video.
Yeah.
Is it video or audio?
Both. I'll do both. Sometimes I'll send them a video, especially for birthdays. I'll send them a private video, usually a Snapchat, and I'll sing in a different voice. You know how they have those voice changers? People love that. Somebody that doesn't know you real well, all of a sudden feels like they know you and you're their best friend, like you're in their circle.
So
When you're in their circle, they'll really think about it. And you can even pre-record a birthday song that doesn't have somebody's name in it. So when you're going through your birthday list on Facebook, those people, it changes the algorithm so that they actually start following you. If you do a post with more than just a heart or more than just a like, you want to comment, be a part of their world. And I'm very specific in targeting somebody. If somebody's on my radar, I go on their page, I search them out, and I comment on their stuff so that they see my stuff come up. And I'm really specific the day before I do a live or the day before I do a really, really important post that I do either one, I do something super silly that makes nostalgia works every time. A nostalgic post where everybody's like, oh, I remember that. And then you've got 95 likes and you've got 105 messages. That's always awesome because those people, it takes some time. You go back and talk to them on Facebook on that post. The next live you do, they're going to see it.
So good.
Yeah.
So I target those people specifically that I'm not necessarily going after, but I want them to see what I have. And that works. Yeah.
That's so good.
So good.
We're gonna have someone transcribe this and put together all the notes in like a little either booklet or a PDF. So it's like always ask before you invite. If you're just inviting, it doesn't work as well. Learn about them. Hey, I was thinking about you specifically with the videos. Find people that are connected with friends of friends. Facebook Messenger video or audio, text worst case scenario, obviously, and be consistent because people will fall off within 24 hours. And you said it way better. I couldn't write as fast. So and there's so much more. I got to go back and listen to the recording.
Yeah. And then I like the call to action. Don't just add them and say, hey, tell me what you see that could help impact your life. Tell me, like making them come back and tell you. And because follow-up's so important, Heather, how much time would you say if they never come back and say, oh my gosh, I love this. This is amazing. What if they just kind of go MIA? How much time?
Ghost you.
Yeah, they ghost you.
Usually I'll go back on Messenger and a private message, or even a lot of times if it's somebody I know and they're my warm market, I pick up the phone and I say, listen, I know you and I had this conversation a couple months ago, but I've not heard from you. First of all, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? I'll leave them a voice message on their phone. I will never talk about my product or service because I legitimately am worried about them. And I also don't want to ruin that relationship or friendship just because they all of a sudden think, okay, what is she trying to sell me?
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you can think of it as sharing is caring and not necessarily selling, and you can get past that, people are going to be a lot more receptive. But I'll send them a video and say, listen, I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you. I haven't heard back from you, if this is not for you, it's fine. But I want us to be friends. So I don't want you to think that that's all I'm calling you about.
Okay.
Let them be free of the guilt or pressure. Some people feel pressure when you don't even put it there. You don't know what's going on in their life. They could be going through a divorce. They could be been ill or whatever. So just changing your perspective that it's not you, it's something going on with them. Smash that negativity, because it's not good. It's not worth it. It will destroy your mindset in your business. It's not you, it's them. And just make sure and not be selling and that you're sharing, because people are receptive to that. But also too, I was going to say, one of the things that's very specific, don't ask somebody if you can let them, or don't ask somebody to let you add them to a group. Tell them you're going to add them, because the person most certain wins. Tell them you're going to add them to the group, but feel free to leave the group at any time if it's not for them. Because people 9 times out of 10, that's why people join gyms and never go, but they never cancel.
Right.
Add them to the group, even if you don't get, even if they don't accept the invite or whatever for months. Finally, they do. They see what's going on. You don't even know they're in the group. They pick up the phone and they say, hey, listen, you know what? I never had time to get in that group. I had one last weekend. I've been watching what you've done. She's never responded to anything. I've been watching what you're doing. That's why I say be very, very consistent. Been watching what you're doing. I need this. Send me your link.
That's the power of the ATM.
Boom.
They can sit there and watch.
Incubate.
And incubate.
Just getting warmer
Yeah.
till they give birth.
So good.
Yeah.
Amazing, Heather. You're crushing it. We're so excited for you and your projects and everything you guys have going on. So huge congratulations.
We used your product last night, by the way.
Yes. High five.
If you knew her product, you would high five.
Yay.
Your face is turning red. Our face turned red last night. Okay, moving on. Okay, so who
So you pick next. We have Amy and Angel.
Angel. Okay,
Angel.
Let's go with Amy.
Amy.
I'm going to go with Amy because I want to save. Okay, so let's do with Amy. Amy is someone that has made multiple annual high six-figure income in the industry. And I know she's working on some new project right now, starting kind of from scratch with this process right now. So it's kind of new to her, but I'm watching her numbers, qualified for her company trip and just doing well in the bonus pool, growing her team's duplicating, starting to duplicate. She's got some amazing people using this process, again, brand new. And I want to bring up an amazing leader who we've gotten the opportunity to know here, obviously through the World Changers and more. We want to bring up Amy. Amy, are you there?
I am.
Great. Good to see you, Amy.
Hey.
See you. Hi. Thanks for having me on.
We can tell where your coffee chair is.
Yes.
Like that chair right over your right-hand shoulder, or is that
Yes,
left?
where there's like shirts just like hanging off over them.
No, I can just tell it's used, and like that's where y'all sit and have your.
I'm in
Anyways,
an office like yours.
you look so nice.
Clean and crisp. Beautiful.
Oh.
All right, Amy. So what I want to do is just kind of tag off of either like give some what Heather said, and I know there's so many. We can spend 3 hours with just simplicities and little tips. So what is working for you that you can share and keep this list going?
Okay, so Heather, you did awesome. I got some awesome nuggets, so thanks so much for that. So I'll just kind of go off a little bit about what she said. So like I said, this ad tag message is very new. And what I love so much about it is it is a simple system, and that people that have been in the industry can do awesome, but then brand new people that have never been in the industry can do awesome.
Yes.
And because it's that simple. And what I love so much is that if you just are consistent, and just exactly what Heather was saying, and I like that you have, because I've been asking them if they want to get in the group. So I like kind of, because I do think it is important just to get them in the group, just get them there, and if they leave on their own, but people are watching, and that I love that. And I think what it's so great for is it just, it helps you grow your business. You're having other people grow your business. when Tom gets on there and trains, that's less, you can still work on your own IPA while he's on there training. You know, I mean, you are able to have your people that you may not think watching, listening to Tom, and it might be the perfect timing on that day that they decide that they want to join. So just getting them into the group is huge. Following up is huge, huge. I tell people all the time, if you only follow up with someone 1 or 2 times, you're only setting them up to sign with someone else. Because they will sign.
Oh, repeat that.
Yeah.
That is so good.
If you only follow up with somebody 1 or 2 times, you are setting them up to eventually sign with someone else because you stopped after the second follow-up.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's so true, because I've had so many people tell me, you know, my other company, like, no. And then all of a sudden, but I kept following up. And so it was like 2 years later that some of them joined me. But if I had have not, they would have joined someone else. They're like, well, my person just kind of fell off, so I might as well join you. So that's really big, is that you've got to keep following up. I do think that people don't know. I think the biggest question in this type of industry, this is my opinion, is people do not know when to follow up. They are like, now what? Now when do I follow up? Like, I don't want to be a bugger. Do I do it today? Do I do it tomorrow? And so what I've always liked doing is when I'm reaching out to someone, I like to, well, it just kind of depends on who it is, but I like to kind of say a couple of things like, are you going to have time today to watch the video? If so, I'll follow. Are you good with me following up with you later on? Like, while you're in that conversation, either on texting or on phone or on Messenger, get your appointment follow-up. So then you're not ever having to wonder, when do I follow up? And so I think that it's great to kind of say, hey, are you going to be able to watch this afternoon so I can follow up later on?
Okay.
Or if it's like at night, then just say, hey, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. So let them know that you are going to be contacting them again.
It's good.
They may or may not respond, and that's okay. You go back to what Heather was doing. You go comment on their pages. You go say happy birthday. You comment on their kids, whatever. So, okay. Another thing that Heather said that I really liked. I pretty much voice message everything. I do not text hardly anything on my inboxes. First of all, I think it's way faster if I can just go like this and be done with it. There are some times I do text, but I do think I've gotten great results from both, but I like doing this other, and people are responding to that. If you have someone that is ghosting you, that has said, yes, I want to be in the group, or whatever, when I've gotten my clothes, I've taken some pictures, I've videoed all of them. And so then what I do is I go back into my messenger feed with them, and I send them pictures of me in my clothes. Or I'll be like, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff I just got in my box. And I like view it, and they're like, oh my gosh. It's caused people to really kind of go, oh my, that is awesome. Like, it really, so if you're not showing them your product by being a product of the product, I think you're doing it a disservice. I mean, I don't care if it's whatever your business is. I mean, it could be clothes, it could be skincare, it could be hair. I mean, whatever it is, you need to wash your face or show your clothes or whatever it is that you do. And because that really intrigues people, and they like the videos, and they like seeing pictures and all that stuff. So that's another thing. Trying to think what else.
And a testimonial too would be really good. Like,
Yes.
you know, oh my gosh, so-and-so just got this, and some kind of testimonial. I keep thinking about you, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of drip a testimonial, a picture. That's so good.
Yeah, it really is. I just think that, and people know if you're genuine. They just do. You know, and I will say exactly what Heather said, or it might have been Tom and Kim, I can't remember. If you are just land blasting your people and adding them into a group, they will not join.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had someone literally tell me that the other day. They said, thank you so much for asking me. Thank you so much for asking me to your group. They've said that. I've had so many people say that. So I'll say, hey, I reach out to them. I just started a new project. Can I add you to our private Facebook group? Sure. And I will say this, if you're having issues with like not being able to add them on your phone or whatever, it won't pull up their name, then what I do, if I can't get it, is I just go to the page and I copy the link and I just go back to their inbox and say, hey, here's the link, join that.
Yes.
And then once you join, let me know, and then I'll go tag you in some videos. Like that's also another just great follow-up. If they've not really responded, that's just a great, hey, join here. And so do that too. It's just, but I do think that it's really important to ask them, because if you just land blast ad people, they won't join.
Right.
I'm trying to think. I think that might be maybe it. I don't know. Is there anything else you want me to talk on?
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, let's hear could you share, keeping it somewhat generic, what you do say to ask them? Like, what do you say when you reach out?
Yeah. What's the kind of the framework of the invite?
Well, it depends on if it's a cold market person or a warm market person. And so I think it just depends on if someone knows what I've been doing, what I am doing, also alongside what I'm now adding to my brand with. So I think it's just going to depend on what I say, but I'll just kind of say and I will say this too, even a cold market person that you reach out to, if you're genuine, they'll listen. I mean, you don't have to develop a relationship for 6 months with
Yes.
someone.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned. I think some people add someone in and then they're like, well, I mean, like people are developing these relationships for so long. That's a slow process. And so I think that if you're real and you're genuine, they will respond. And if they don't, they don't. But I just kind of reach out to a cold market person. I just kind of say, hey, Amy, hope you're doing well. I live here in Arkansas. I'm a mama of 5, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I'm looking for like-minded people like you to pioneer the way with me. And would you at all be open to me adding you to this private Facebook group that I just started, or whatever, just da-da-da-da-da? Would you be open? I like saying open. I don't like saying interested, because I think sometimes people feel like they have to commit to something.
Mm-hmm.
So would you at all be open to me adding you to this private Facebook group? And then once you accept, I'll tag you in the videos. And then I'll come back and I'll say, okay. And they say, sure. Okay, I just added you. So now you just need to accept. Let me know when you accept so I can tag you in the videos. I accepted. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go and tag you in some videos right now. And I'm going to follow back up with you later today. Or I'm busier the rest of the day, so I'll probably reach back out to you tomorrow.
Boom.
That is
Love it.
that is so offensive. No, that's amazing. And how many people say yes to that cold market?
I mean, I'm getting a lot of responses from cold market.
50% maybe?
Yeah, a lot.
Or more?
Even if it's a no, thank you, I'm already in another business, I'm not interested. That's fine. Great.
Yeah.
Well, I am cheering you on. I'm cheering from you from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's
Like
so,
I had another person I reached out to just recently, and she's in another company, and she said, I loved your message. What you said was so great. And, and I don't remember what I said. It was just voice text, and I just was being Amy, but genuine. And she said, thank you so much. I am in this other business, but because of how you were, I would like to at least take a look.
it's so good.
Wow. So good.
So it's so interesting as you're sharing this, Amy. I've done this with about 500 people in the last few months with a hormone product that I really fell in love with personally, and obviously the clothing. And I literally can think in my mind 3 people right now out of 500 that I did that with. And the response for me has been about 80% of people say, sure, of course. And the other ones just don't see it, and I have to follow up with them. And it's usually close to 100%. But I'm going to tell everybody right now, I can think of 3 to 5 people right now that came back with, why in the world, why do you think I'd be interested in that? I mean, I do have some people that I know well, actually. I'm thinking of one guy, just one guy that was a little offended. He's a multiple 7-figure earner, friend of mine. that was really like, what are you doing? So just know, if you do even what Amy did, and even if you have a good, like, lighthearted personality, you're not bugging them, you're not pitching them hardcore like car sale, you are in a people world where you're going to get someone in a bad day. You're going to get someone grumpy. You're going to get someone, whatever the situation is, you don't know. And the older I get, the more I really realize that there's a lot of people out there that are hurting, or that have challenges for the day and all that kind of thing, or they had a really rough year, in major depression. If you come against someone with depression on Facebook, or going through divorce, you're going to get they're going to try to hurt you because they're hurting really bad in their life. Pray, love, release, and go get the 499 other people that are dying for the message that Amy just gave.
So
Yeah,
good.
and I will say this too: if you're spending a lot of time, like, you can't add for very long on Facebook, or you'll get put in Facebook jail. So you've got to remember that you can't be like, add friend, like for 30 people. So, add, and then go message people, and then go to their page and love on them. And then maybe go to Instagram for a little bit. And then maybe go to LinkedIn for a little bit. Like, I'm getting people on LinkedIn responding to me that are influencers, that are like, at least they're responding even if it's a no. So, just work your social media. I don't even know how to work LinkedIn very much anyway, but I still am trying. So, but just work your way around different social media platforms. But you can't just be like, add, or you will be put in
Yes.
jail.
And one thing you said that is so key is because people are busy and they do miss their notifications. I think Heather brought this up too, but don't just invite them. Then go copy the URL to the group and put it in Messenger where your voice message just was, and say, hey, I know sometimes those notifications get buried. Here's the link just in case. And then they have it right there. They hear your voice. There's the link. Boom. Then they can ask to be added to the group as well.
That tip helped me big time.
Yeah.
You're
So
awesome,
good,
Amy. Thank you.
Congratulations on
Yeah.
your success.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
So fun watching you
Super,
crush
super
it.
exciting.
Thank you.
I want to show you how the ATM system's working personally.
Mhm.
Kim and I are launching a new project, and we want to know if you would Amy say not interested? Open, right?
If you're open.
If you're open, and I'm being serious, y'all. If you're open to being put in a training group, and this is for people that know that they want to at least find a way to make a 6 or even a 7-figure income. We're creating a new training system. We already have a training system that's ready, but I want to know if it's okay if I can add you to that group. If it's okay, I want you to type in yes, okay? Or yes. Just type in yes. If you're on Facebook, if you're on the Zoom, type in yes, and we'll add you to the group in the next day or so, okay? We're just starting it right now. And it's for all companies. We're going to use the ATM process for simplicity of duplication and training, no matter what company you're in. And it's a free group that we're starting from scratch. So just type in yes, and we'll put you part of that free group where you can learn from different leaders like what you're learning from today. Okay?
So fun.
All right, you ready?
Yes. All right, we have one more.
We get to bring up someone who's got I know she's got so many other angles that she's doing today. And this amazing woman is the #1 promoter in one of the fastest growing ATM systems in the world right now. And she is crushing it. And you could see, I'm in that group too. I could see what she's doing. And it's like, you can see all the people that she's referring. And you talk about the accountability. I got a little pit in my stomach about what you said about accountability.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, oh my gosh, it's like I got to get more going with the invites here. You can always tell who's in management mode. You can always tell who's answering questions and, getting a little bit busy work, which is important, especially, depending on your circumstance with your company. But, I talk about, there's a reason why it's important to spend 70% of your time inviting to an ATM system or something like that and following up and enrolling. There's a reason why you want to do it 70% of the time. Because if you get off track, you'll end up spending 80-90% of the time in busy work. You got to get back to the main thing to get the duplication.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring up someone who's doing it.
To tee up this woman, Angel, can you please share how many people you've enrolled in the last 30 days?
Yeah, so she won her company trip. She's crushing growth and duplication in her team is popping all over the place.
In our, yeah.
And again, the number one enroller in her entire company right now. So we're gonna bring up Angel.
Angel!
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. First, I want to say great job, Heather and Amy. Those were great. I mean, great. It was so great. Great topics there. So thank you so much for having me on. And how many have I enrolled last 30? I think 21. I think it's 23 now, but I think 21 was in the last one.
21 people in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the
Amazing.
average
Yeah.
pack? Like, what's the average pack that your team comes in with? Like
The
money-wise?
$9.99.
Huh?
The $9.99.
$999. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people did you enroll the 30 months before that? 30 days before that? The month before?
I don't remember, to be honest. I have to go back and look.
That's awesome that you can't remember.
Yeah.
Because I want you to talk about the shift.
Because I was like, it was probably like 5 or 6. Yeah. It was
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Over 20 people.
Right.
All right. So what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Following the system.
All right. Great day.
Following the system.
I mean, it really is like that, right?
Absolutely.
What's the difference between people that are succeeding with it, you think, Angel, and a lot of people that are not? There's a lot of people that are doing the same thing. They think they're saying the same thing. They think they're following up as diligently as you and Amy and Heather. But there's a lot of people that it's not succeeding for. Why do you think? Maybe we could share there.
Oh, gosh. I mean,
That's a tough one, huh?
Yeah. To be honest, the number one thing with network marketing, anything is prospecting and recruiting. So how many people are you getting the information in front of? How many people are you reaching out to a day? And then how many people are you following up with? And I want to say, you know, the follow-up system, amazing, Amy, amazing, Heather. I also want to add to that is as you're following up, don't be afraid to ask the golden question. Are you ready to get started? Because a lot of people are so busy. They're like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about you. I've been meaning to catch up. Yes, I'm ready to get started. Like sometimes people just need that little push, right? And so don't be afraid to ask. Be like, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. Make sure you've had a chance to watch the videos. Or if they've already watched the videos, okay, do you have any other questions or are you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
I actually sent that message out this morning, and she said, yes, I'm ready to get started and I have 2 friends that want to join with me.
Oh my gosh.
So don't be afraid to ask.
Right.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm. And then I would say I love the group. When you do the ATM group, I know there's people out there building without the groups and without the ATM system, and they're crushing it.
Sure.
But what it allows you to do too is allows those people to see the community and the culture and what we are about. It's not just about sharing a business opportunity, but it's about the culture and seeing the buzz and seeing everyone so excited and what they got in their box. And then it also allows you to, as a leader, to have other leaders be able to help answer any questions that maybe your customer is asking, but you're out and about at the gym and you haven't seen that. So it allows other leaders to kind of help you out too, you know, as far as answer questions or any concerns that they may have. So we're all kind of in it together, helping each other out using that group. And then another thing is when you're inviting people to your page, you're telling them it's your page, right? So they want to see you. Are you being active in the page? Are you posting pictures of yourself in your clothes or with your makeup or skincare? Because, you know, when you do that, it shows up as a notification in their time feed, in their news feed. So you're always wanting to be in their face, right? I mean, I don't mean that, but you do, right? If you're wanting to be a product of the product, you need to show that you're a product of the product, and you need to be active in those pages so that they do see you.
So good.
That is so huge.
These slight edges it's so big.
I didn't even think of that angle. It's your page. And also I'll share on that is it's your partners. So like if Kim Challan or Angel was in your team or Heather in your company, I'd be like, hey, my partner, my friend that I partnered up with, and I would, you know, so we're always kind of sharing and leveraging that. So you have other credibility pieces.
Yep. 2 things I want to touch on what you said as the having maybe whoever brought you in, like if you're new or even if you're not new, we use a three-way messenger with every single person that we've shared and expressed interest
Yeah.
between us. Like he'll either add me to the group, the prospect and him, or, you know, maybe it would be, you know, who brought us in, but some kind of three-way message so that if that person has a question, they can put it right there. We're here to support you, answer any questions and help you get started. And so it's super leveraging for a new person, because all of a sudden that fear of like, I don't know how to answer this goes away. And you can literally pop on, answer it through a voice audio, and help that new person get started, their prospect. That was a game changer when we started implementing that.
Huge. And thank you, Jennifer Wells, by the way.
Yes.
We heard that tip at our event. She was a guest speaker. And I'm like, that's game changer. I mean, I know people do it. It's just, that was huge for us.
Game changer. And then,
And we real quick, we label it too. So we'll say like angel, rock star, support, depending on our personality color or type. If they're like a blue, we make it really fun and flashy. Hey, the rock star special VIP support system for angel, right? If they're a serious business person, we can just say the support system for angel, right? And I'll tag as many people as I can, or that applies to that group, like the upline, you know, people that are in there. And what we're finding too is it's not just good for onboarding new prospects. Once they're in, it now becomes their support system for onboarding into the business as well thereafter.
yeah. And eventually they get it. And then all of a sudden there's no more questions, right? But you help them get onboarded. And, but Angel, I would love for you to share kind of what you shared last week on our team call. There was a definite shift. And a lot of times the ATM is a system. You just follow the system, but sometimes it's all here. If we're not succeeding, it's right here. But maybe you could share, you know, some of the things that helped you shift into, you know, really go mode, and I mean, being the top enroller.
It really does boil down to your belief in yourself and making that commitment to really stay in the game and for the long haul. I've had a couple people that did enroll last month, and then they say, I've showed the clothes, but I haven't got much luck. You know, it's like, are you like in it, or are you not, you know? And I'm just being honest, and you know, what you put into it is what you put out of it, or what you get out of it. And so you really have to like go inside and say, I'm committed. I am making that step. I am in it for the long haul. And as long as you say that and you stay consistent, you will always win, no matter what. No matter if it takes you, you know, because there will be some people that come in and they are top enroller in a month. And there are some people, it takes them 3 months, you know? So it's okay. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to have some networkers that come in and blow it up. But you know what? It's worth it to stay in it for the long haul, because the potential of this business is amazing. And, you know, your story resonates with me because in my previous company, I remember spending my rent money to get into that previous company and just saying, okay, here we go. And it was back against the wall. And basically it's kind of for me right now, feeling like your life depends on it, because it does. And I was like, I have to make this up within the month to get my rent money back so I can pay rent, you know? And just when you're committed to something and you have a why that will make you cry, then it will happen. So I really just say to dig down deep and really ask yourself, why are you doing this? And are you a 10 out of a 10 as far as like, your belief in what you have and what you're trying to promote? Are you a 10 out of 10? Because if you're not a 10 out of 10, it's not going to come through passionate enough on your voice memos or on your calls. You know, you really have to be a believer in what you're selling or promoting, so that people trust you, right? They want to trust you. And if you're not a believer and it's not coming out, that's where you're going to have a little bit of struggle. So I would just say, I mean, to be honest, get on all of these calls that you can, all of these Zooms, because you can take away little nuggets that you're just like, oh my gosh, I haven't tried that. Let me try that now, you know? And I love every one of these calls. And I'm so grateful to y'all that, y'all, can you tell I'm from Texas?
We lived in Texas for a bit.
Yes, in my hometown. But no, I'm so grateful to both of you for hosting these, because they literally help me so much. And that's why I'm where I am today, just because I show up. That's another thing, is I show up.
Dang.
Are you showing up to your business? You say you want to run a business, but if there's a Zoom call, like your weekly team Zoom call, that's an hour, one time a week, Are you showing up? Right? That's like your board meeting. Like your boss would fire you if you didn't show up to a board meeting, right? So you really have to put yourself in check. Like if you want to run this as a business, you've got to show up.
And
So good.
I want to go deep.
Bam.
I want to.
Yeah.
I flipping love that. So what do you do? I want to ask two more questions. The first question is, how do you keep adding people to the group when you're good at adding, you instantly start getting all the follow-up responses? Sure, add me. How does this work? What do I do? I couldn't get the link. How do you do all that busy work when you continually invite? Does it break down for you sometimes, or how do you do it? Because that I find is the hard part for us. We break down a little bit. We're like, oh, we don't have time to add today. Because you get so busy, because it works so well, you get so busy with the existing follow-ups.
Good problem to have.
What do you do there?
I mean, when you're in an opportunity like this at ground floor, it's go time. You just have to ride that wave. And I'm kind of sick right now, but I was like, it's worth it in the end. And I've not had much sleep, but I just go. I mean, because it's precious time that you could be losing. But obviously, time blocking too for yourself, like putting down your phone for an hour to go to the gym or spending time with my daughter and playing with her. But I don't know. I'm not the most organized. I would say I'm a hot mess sometimes when it comes to that. But, I mean, to be honest, like when I reach out to people or if I have and I'm doing my follow-ups, I just like scroll up to the bottom of my messenger and just go one after the other and follow up. I mean, I don't have a crazy like perfect system, but it works,
Cool.
It works.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
I
Yeah.
love that. Truthful. Yeah.
I mean, just being honest.
If you're not making a mess, go make a mess. You'll have so much more fun and you'll start getting results. Go make
and don't say you're busy, say you're productive.
Boom.
My number one mentor that helped me the most in this industry, one of my number one mentors, said the number one way to be the top producer is to go make a mess and never try to clean it up. Meaning you go from mess to mess, because as soon as you start thinking and getting organized, it's like a deer literally that freezes and you almost never recover. Most people don't recover from stopping working. It's hard to get going again.
Yeah.
I remember one time at an event, I remember there was like a panel on stage and there was like 6 women and they were asked like how they stay organized. And it was like one after another had like this scheduling book or this calendar or this system or that system. And then the last girl was like, I don't have a system, but it's obviously working. And I'm like, boom, I love her. And just knowing that it can be messy and it can be okay, right? Not all of us are like, I don't know, red or blue or whatever the colors are that are just so structured and so like, I mean, I'm not. And so I just do what works for me. I have a big freaking paper on my wall that I write names on. Like, I don't have a crazy computer calculator, but some people are like that. Some people have to work like that. But just know if you're on this call, like if you're not doing that, it's okay. As long as you just keep doing the system and following up and staying consistent, you're doing perfect. It'll all work out.
Time blocking is big too. Not that we always do it, but when you can say, okay, for this next hour, I'm not looking at my email, my text or anything. I am full on prospecting. And you could get so much done if you just literally give yourself permission to go for an hour.
That's good.
And then take 20 minutes, take a break, or the next 30 minutes, I'm going to go follow up with all my messengers. This time block.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do in 20 minutes, to be honest. Like if you literally just stay present for 20 minutes, because people are like, how do you send so many messages out? I'm like, because it really only takes like 5 minutes to send. I mean, not even 5 minutes, like 30 seconds to send a message to someone. Right? So anyone can sit down for 20 to 30 minutes and just be full on, like you said, present and just in the game.
Good. And that's so good too, because if you're a mom, you can get that mom guilt so easy if you're not purposely, intentionally setting time aside for your children. So that is so good. That is so good, Angel. Oh man.
You know who's listening in right now? I don't know if he's still here, but Mike Bjorkman says, I'm dying to jump on. And every time Mike Bjorkman says he wants to jump on, he's coming on. He's a multimillionaire friend of mine, mentor of mine, someone that was at my house. He's just killing it in the industry too. So anyways,
thank you so much, Angel. You're gonna have Mike
Angel.
share.
No, I don't know if Mike's on, but if he is on the Zoom, Mike, you gotta come on the Zoom. I would be happy to bring you up, brother. Angel, you are amazing.
Amazing.
Congratulations with your success. And we're just super proud to see how amazing you're growing your business right now. So congratulations.
Thank y'all, amazing leaders.
Yay. Hey, I want to do a real quick around the board with anybody who was having success with this.
He needs
And
the
here,
link.
send Mike the link, or just tell him it's in the thingy. Okay, so here's what I want to ask all of you before you all leave, okay, is for the people that aren't succeeding with this, because there's going to, and one of the things I've learned how to do in building teams, pretty good sized teams over the years, is to share with people where the landmines are and how to avoid it, where the challenges are and how to avoid it, and how to get better at avoiding the landmines. So what are the things that what are in one sentence or less, or preferably four words or less, what are the ingredients that we should work on in being successful with ATMing and using this prospecting 3-step system? Like, what should we focus on in developing our skill if it's not working for some of the people that are listening in right now and our team members? Who wants to share first? Just unmute, maybe Jackie, and it's got to be quick, or Lisa Van Horn's on here. What do you think that you and all of us and our team needs to focus on to become better at ATMing?
Okay, Mike's coming on.
Who wants to go first? And then we're going to bring maybe a guest speaker on here, kind of impromptu here, if you want to stick around for a little bit longer.
Can you hear me? Because we're driving, so I just want to make sure.
You sound great, Jackie. Okay, we're gonna try to beeline, or we could spend all day.
Okay, so for me personally, what I really tried to master was 2 things. First of all, learning personality types, right? So that you can speak directly to that person's personality type.
So good.
And second, telling stories. So those are the 2 things that I worked on diligently to learn how to just really work this business like a professional. And it was a huge game changer because I was in the industry for about, I don't know, I think about 12 years. And then when I decided to do it professionally, those were the 2 skill sets that just absolutely blew my business up. So I went from, being a hardcore amateur that saw the dream and saw the vision of this industry and the freedom and all the things that this industry promises. But those were the 2 things that took me.
That's good.
Big
Good
whoppers.
time forward. And there's one more that I know with my sister Jackie. She is one of the best at asking questions. Maybe as good or better than me. It's my strength, but she is pretty darn good at it.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. Why do you feel that way? She goes really deep with questions and not pitching or selling.
Jackie, we got to have you on our next call and share exactly what you do. So,
all right. When I hear, I'm so glad he didn't tell me he was on the beginning of the call. I'd be a little bit nervous. One of my really good friends. There's very few people that prospect me out and about. This dude did. It's a whole other story, but I want to get right to the point. He's a multimillionaire, one of the most successful leaders, brand new to network marketing, on track for a multi-7-figure income in his new business. And I know his wife is building a business now using this process. Mike, I want to just kind of share with everybody that's kind of jumped on late. This is don't mention the company name or anything like that on this call because there's multiple companies in here. But I want to bring on an incredible leader, somebody who speaks all over the world, Mike Bjorkman. Mike, hey, buddy, I see you're on the road, buddy. What kind of wisdom are you going to drop on us real quick?
Dude, I am so excited that you're doing these calls. I'll start off, first of all, we do these calls just like this every Thursday at 11 Pacific. You guys are all welcome to jump on. And we do this kind of the same thing. I can't believe the amount of talent these leaders that you are bringing on have. The lingo, the dialogue, the proper network marketing techniques is blowing my mind. I love the ad tag message idea. And Kim, you were right on the money by saying follow up by putting the URL to the group in a message. The biggest thing that is working for me right now, and I'm adding at least one person a day to my network. So we've done 40 something in the last 30 days, and I've recruited over 200 people in the last 90 days. And the key thing that I wanted to point out right now is everything is video, everything. So when you message somebody, if you're going to text them, make sure it's a video. Use the Marco Polo app. You know, we know that body language, tonality, all that stuff is well over 50% of the communication. And I forget who just said it, but they can tell when you're authentic and genuine, and video delivers that so much better. And if it wasn't for Zoom, I don't know if we could actually do the business the way we're doing it right now. The amount of people, the amount of Zooms that I have every day, my closing ratio is almost 100% if I get them on a Zoom. If I get them on the phone, it's almost a waste of time.
Wow, dude.
I have a 30-day checklist that's on my YouTube channel on doubling your production in 30 days. It's a 30-day checklist. It's really simple. And it's free, right? Like, we spend tons of money on retargeting, remarketing, and really going after people. But if you're gonna time block, and my perfect daily schedule for network marketing and pretty much everything else is an hour a day of self-help, an hour a day of skill set, which is watching these videos, 2 hours a day of prospecting, 2 hours a day of learning your product and your industry, and then an hour a day of follow-up. So when we get stuck in that day-to-day minutia of follow-up, it's extremely important that we stop, turn our phones to airplane mode or whatever, and force yourself to stay on that prospecting mode. And when you're typing, it's slow. When you're doing video, it's amazingly fast. And what's special is when you do an authentic video to each person, like today, I already did my birthday videos, you know, just go into Messenger and just do the birthday videos. Hey, Tom, it's Bjorkman. I haven't seen you in a while, but I sure love you. Dude, your birthday fell on a Saturday. How cool is that? What are you going to do? Let me know, man. When can we hook up? People are blown away. They just love it. So I'll give you real quick the 30-day checklist, and it's probably better that I send it to you on a link. But
Okay.
basically, it's all about Facebook and its algorithm and reaching out. So we're going to add at least 10 friends a day slowly, so we don't go in Facebook jail, like she said. We're going to try to add 10 influencers a day. We want to make sure we do all of our birthday videos. And then we want to at least send 10 private message videos when my dog wants to get involved. 10 private videos when you scroll down the wall. You might notice that Facebook algorithm right now, you're actually seeing things that people are posting yesterday. And you're like, what the heck is that? And it's
Right.
Facebook's way of saying you suck at engaging with people. So if you engage deep, especially deep comments, because you can't just say emojis anymore, or that's awesome, or yes, you have to put at least 10 words so Facebook thinks you're an authentic friend. And then that builds that algorithm up. And when you start doing that, and it's okay to be private, add tag and message in groups and stuff, but when you start doing that, Facebook is going to drop the people that you're going after in front of you daily. And that's how they're going to start being insight in mind and start respecting you and saying, look, you know, Mike Bjorkman's engaging with me. He's actually a friend, not just a stalker, a voyeur, or some network marketer or salesperson. And you start building other community groups, you know, like I have probably 10 groups that I started, and they might only have a couple hundred people in them, you know, like I have a neighborhood that I work in a lot. I have, we vacation in Lake Havasu. So I have Santa Clarita and Lake Havasu. And I create all these little groups because I can only have 5,000 friends. So I have to delete people that are not relevant in my life on their birthdays, and the other ones give a birthday video to. So I have to spend communicating with at least a couple hundred people a day on Facebook. And those messages, if you follow the checklist daily and just put it up on your screen or your whiteboard or whatever, he's bored, you'll actually get that Facebook rocking so hard that really all you need to do, and I love that what she said was slow down so you don't go into jail, but make sure you do use LinkedIn. We also have, well, you have them too, the automation bots that help, but authenticity on LinkedIn is surprisingly, you know, LinkedIn used to just be a playground for, you know, corporate executives to show off their raises and stuff like that. And now it's really more of a playground where people are looking for different opportunity in different fields, and it's starting to feel a little bit more like Facebook. And the same thing with Instagram. the messages that people get on Instagram are way less than anything else. So they get excited when you're engaging with them. And the stories are becoming more and more and more important. You know, they proved years and years ago that people would fall in love with movie stars because they're watching them, they're hearing them, and they start trusting them. And nowadays, social media is everything. They feel like they're connecting with you daily if you're working on your stories. And that's how you guys are so infamous, you know, not only TikTok, but your Instagram stories. I'm sure if you look at those, you'll probably get 1,000 views a day. And out of those 1,000 people, we got to understand that at least 10% of every single person you know is looking for a new opportunity. So if 10 people see what you're talking about, at least one wants to be involved, and they might be a little shy. So that's why we got to reach out to them and just engage in messages. And when we get messages back, after the third or fourth go around, it's okay to say, hey, listen, I have this amazing opportunity. We're really enjoying our lives, our freedom. We're making predictable monthly cash flow. Our sales are exploding. You know, I totally respect what you're doing. If you're interested, I'd love to spend, 5 to 10 minutes and just give you a brief overview. You know, maybe are you busy Saturday morning? I can invite you to a call, whatever like that. So it's so fun. I just love all this stuff. And I love the new courses that you're building out, because you're going to be changing lives, Tom.
Yeah.
So you guys just remember, the biggest thing right now is everything video. Marco Polo is the best app. If you can't do Marco Polo, make sure it's video text messages, and then make sure you're sending video messages on your social media too. It's so much easier and faster and more genuine than typing. You just hold your finger down and say, hey, what's up? It's Mike. I saw you were in the Bahamas yesterday at the Ritz-Carlton. First of all, congratulations on your honeymoon, but hey, would you recommend, that I stay there? I've always wanted to go there. Start a dialogue, be authentic about it. Everybody wants to see what the Ritz and the Bahamas is like, so it's real, right? So just start conversation, and you never have to leave the house, because all you're doing is literally 2 hours a day doing that, and you'll be rich. Does that make sense?
Gold,
It's
Mike.
so good.
Gold.
Thank you for
Oh my
popping on.
gosh. 2 things. People were asking, what exactly was the schedule again? An hour a day of self-improvement, an hour a day of skill set.
So an hour a day of self-help, right? So that's something besides our job. Something, whether it's Tony Robbins, eating healthier, learning books on exercise, something that has nothing to do with business that'll eventually affect it. And then an hour a day of skill set, learning your scripts, learning your dialogues, going back and watching all these, and getting involved in other systems, and really paying attention to sales, right? Read every single book you can on sales and network marketing. Like, I'm going back right now, I'm reading GoPro again, and I'm about to start building an empire again. And there's so many books that we could recommend, right? And then 2 hours a day of prospecting. If you're serious about your business, 2 hours a day. If you do any more than 2 hours, you're probably going to explode, because that's too much. And 2 hours a day of diving into, we call it previewing, but basically what it is really spending time learning about your team, learning about the executives at the company that you're building the relationships at a high up level. So if you ever have problems, you can go to the top at the top. Spend time communicating with people that are already in your system, so you can really understand and be part of a community. And then an hour a day of follow-up. If you're following up more than an hour, then you're really going to be rich, because it doesn't take long for 30-second video messages to follow up with people. And then, of course, the 2 hours a day of the business part is also your actual appointments as well, if you were going to do a Zoom with somebody or something like that. So that's kind of the schedule. And then if you're really gung-ho after that 8-hour day, then you could schedule your appointments in the evenings when people get home from work. And try to do that only 3 or 4 days a week, because you will drop dead from being tired if you do too much more than that.
Yeah.
So good.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I tell people, especially if you're if you have blue in you, I sprint with prospecting, like what Mike said. I've tried 1,000 ways to drink enough coffee, to take focus pills. I'm like, max I've ever gone is 4 hours. I mean, I'm talking focus. My goal is to get it down to 2 hours for sure, like what Mike was saying. If you're a green or an engineer brain, it might be a different ballgame for you. I've learned that some analytical type people can sit on their tush all day and they just grind all day. It's just not some personalities like me or Mike.
Yeah.
Right. And here's one thing that that I wish for everybody on this call to hear and see, because I was very blessed to witness it. I've actually tried to duplicate it at your guys' event in San Diego when Kim did her presentation on overcoming fear. If you guys could take that clip and share it with your team, I think you'll save lives, change lives, and grow businesses more than ever. You know, that was one of the best presentations I've ever seen. Anybody on this call, if you were missing their live events, you're crazy, because I've never learned so much. I've never met so many cool people. You guys engage in those live events too, at least every 90 days, and just immerse yourself in the love that they give and all the other people in the business, because that's what's going to make your business change. If that makes sense.
And that's so good, Mike. And for those of you that are still here, before we wrap up, make sure if you want in our new Facebook group on no matter what company you're in, if you build teams and you want to be a part of that free group, we're going to talk about the event in there and what we're doing. We have an event coming up. We're going to see when Mike can come to the next event. He already committed that he would. He was one of our top keynote speakers at one of our events in the last year. Put yes. Type in yes. Kim and I are going to scroll through it and add you to the new Facebook group that we just started for building teams. Mike, thank you so much. Heather, we could tell why you're so yeah.
Thank you so
Heather,
much.
we know why you're so, if you guys watch Heather through the group, she's been edifying and loving on people. It's just why she's so good at attracting some great leaders.
Yeah.
And Amy, thank you so much. And Angel, even though you're not feeling well, congratulations and thank you so much for being here. The contribution, Mike, and also Anne-Marie for letting Mike come on here. I saw a piece of, I think that was Anne-Marie next to you there, Mike. So thank you guys so much for being here on this World Changers training call today. We're looking forward to building an amazing future with all of you and locking arms and really just blessing people and changing the world together. So beautiful. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
You're crushing it too, beautiful.
Thank you. Love you guys. Have an amazing weekend, rest of your weekend. Love you.
All right. Okay, the call is officially done. I'm going to stick around for a second and go ahead and add or write down all of you that said yes here. Let me take a video of it actually, so I can add y'all to the group. And then on Facebook, it's easy. If you go into the
Other way.
Oh, the other way. Okay,
Yeah.
where did I start? The yeses right there. Okay, of course, Angel. Let me just video. Y'all can go, by the way. I just got to do some business right now. Let's make sure y'all. Okay, Mimi. Hey, I Marco Polo'd you, Mimi. All right, Roseanne, you're all set. Sarah, got it. I don't know who that is. Cara Bear. I don't know who that is. Maybe Dirk, of course. Hi. Okay, Amy, of course. Jackie, of course. Yes, yes. Christina Brock, you have no choice. Sandy, you have no choice. Amy and Faith Lee. Hey, Faith. Hey, Lori. Okay, good. Heather, of course. Patsy. Hey, Patsy's one of my favorite peeps in the whole world. Mimi, Ruth, Jody, Donna. All right, I think that's it. Let me see if there's any more here.
Man, I can't wait to do our next live event.
Yeah.
Have Mike
Have
and
all of
everybody
you face
share.
to face.
Oh my gosh.
Stephanie, of course. Jana Jennings. I got to find all these people now, huh? How am I going to do this?
Jody Bailey.
I should have had
Sandy.
We're going to have to do it next
Sarah.
week.
Awesome.
You're poloing the wrong person? What? I've been poloing you.
Oh my gosh.
That's
She
funny.
has a new phone.
You have a new phone?
Yes, a new phone number.
Oh my gosh. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye. We'll see you on the next call. We'll see you in the community. We'll see you
Next training.
wherever you are.
Puerto Vallarta, wherever you're going.
Puerto Vallarta.
We're going to see you somewhere.
Bye, guys. Mwah.